Imagine you're out for a meal at your favorite restaurant. Everything's going well, the food's great, the service is smooth, and then you're ready to pay. But suddenly the staff seem a bit flustered. The credit card machine isn't working, the system is down, and no one knows how long it'll be before they can take your payment. This might sound like an inconvenience, but for restaurants across the United States, this was a reality when NCR's Aloha POS system was hit by a crippling ransomware attack in 2023. Hey guys, this is Cyber Made Simple, Sinister Cyber. Let's get into it. Let's break down what happened. NCR, or National Cash Register, is a major player in the world of point-of-sale systems. If you've ever dined out, shopped at a grocery store, or even paid for gas, there's a good chance you've interacted with an NCR system without even knowing it. Their Aloha POS system in particular is widely used in the restaurant industry. It's the technology that handles everything from taking orders and processing payments to managing reservations and even kitchen inventory. Essentially, it's the central nervous system of many restaurants. In April 2023, a ransomware group managed to breach NCR's defenses and hit the Aloha system right where it hurts. This wasn't just a glitch or a minor security hiccup. This was a full-blown attack that took down a system relied on by thousands of restaurants nationwide. When you think about the ripple effect of such an attack, it's staggering. Each restaurant represents dozens of employees, hundreds of customers, and thousands of dollars in transactions, all suddenly thrown into disarray. Let's dive a little deeper into what makes this attack so significant. The Aloha POS system isn't just a piece of software running on a computer. It's a cloud-based service that connects a vast network of devices and databases. This cloud integration is supposed to be an advantage, offering seamless updates, real-time data access, and robust support. But when the system was compromised, that interconnectedness became a double-edged sword. Instead of just one restaurant system going down, the impact spread like wildfire, affecting all the businesses depending on NCR's Aloha service. Imagine the chaos of multiple restaurants in a busy city, all at once unable to process credit card payments or even access their order histories. The timing of the attack couldn't have been worse. It happened just as restaurants were starting to recover from the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. Many of these businesses were finally seeing a return to normalcy, with customers eager to dine out again. The last thing they needed was another disruption, especially one that could halt their operations entirely. And yet, that's exactly what they faced. For days, many restaurants were unable to process credit card payments. Customers had to be turned away or asked to pay in cash, a less common option in today's increasingly cashless society. Orders were delayed, reservations were missed, and in some cases, restaurants were forced to shut down temporarily because they simply couldn't function without their POS system. The losses were not just financial. There was also the damage to customer trust and the sheer frustration of not being able to serve the people who were finally coming back to dine. And here's where it gets even more unsettling. This attack wasn't an isolated incident, it's part of a broader trend. Ransomware attacks have been on the rise, targeting increasingly critical parts of our everyday infrastructure. From hospitals to oil pipelines, no sector seems immune. What makes the NCR Aloha attack particularly concerning is the way it highlights our growing dependence on these digital systems. The restaurant industry, like so many others, has become deeply intertwined with technology. What happens when that technology is suddenly taken away? NCR's response to the attack was swift, but even so, the recovery wasn't instantaneous. Businesses were left in limbo, waiting for systems to be restored and for NCR to regain control of its own network. During this time, restaurant owners and managers were faced with tough decisions. How long could they stay open without their primary POS system? How could they manage orders, payments, and customer service without access to the tools they had come to rely on? For some larger chains, the disruption was a setback, but one they could manage thanks to corporate support and contingency plans. But for smaller independent restaurants, this kind of outage can be devastating. These are businesses that often operate on tight margins, where every day of lost revenue can have a significant impact. The inability to process payments or take new orders wasn't just an inconvenience, it was a potential financial disaster. And for those that were already struggling post-pandemic, this could have been the final straw. The human element of this story is also important. Behind every restaurant are the people who run it, the owners, the staff, the suppliers, all of whom were directly affected by this attack. Imagine being a restaurant owner waking up to find your system is down, with no clear answers on when it will be back up. The stress, the uncertainty, and the sense of helplessness must have been overwhelming. And for the staff on the front lines, dealing with frustrated customers and trying to keep things running smoothly without the tools they rely on every day, it was a challenging situation to say the least. This attack also raises questions about the broader impact on consumer trust. When you go to a restaurant, you expect the service to be seamless. But after an event like this, customers might start to question the reliability of the businesses they frequent. Will my card information be safe? Will the restaurant even be able to process my payment? These kinds of doubts can linger long after the systems are back up and running, and they're not easy to dispel. What makes this situation even more concerning is the idea that it could happen again. Ransomware groups are becoming more sophisticated, and as we've seen, they're not just targeting large corporations with deep pockets. They're going after the services that those corporations provide, services that millions of people rely on every day. The NCR Aloha attack is a stark reminder that no system is completely safe, no matter how big or well established the company behind it. And this isn't just about the restaurant industry. Think about all the other sectors that depend on cloud-based services: retail, healthcare, education, finance, the list goes on. If a ransomware attack can take down a system as widespread and crucial as Aloha, what's to stop it from happening to other industries? The potential for disruption is enormous, and the consequences could be even more severe. As NCR worked to bring its systems back online, the ripple effects of this attack were still being felt. The restaurants affected had to not only deal with the immediate fallout, but also think about the longer-term implications. How would they rebuild customer trust? How could they prevent something like this from happening again? These are questions that will likely linger for some time. In the end, the NCR Aloha ransomware attack serves as a chilling reminder of the vulnerability of the systems we've come to depend on. It's a wake-up call not just for the businesses affected, but for anyone who relies on technology to keep things running smoothly. As our world becomes more connected, the stakes are getting higher, and the risks are becoming harder to ignore. So next time you're at a restaurant and everything seems to be running like clockwork, remember the story of the NCR Aloha ransomware attack. It's a glimpse into the darker side of our digital age, where the tools that make our lives easier can also be turned against us in an instant. Before you go, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Have you ever experienced a major disruption like this in your own life or business? What was it like and how did you cope? Drop your stories in the comments below. And if you found this video interesting, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on all the latest cyber threats.